Welcome to Born Unfiltered, all raw,
all authentic.
I'm London Los. I'm with my main man, it's Marquise, King Keese. We coming at you live. First episode. Welcome. We want to definitely get y'all situated, let y'all know how the podcast is coming. Just because it's intro to fall, we definitely want to start y'all off with some good news, some good topics.
Facts.
I want to come at y'all and let y'all know the new music that's hot out. That's definitely going to be something that we look forward to sharing on a weekly basis. We definitely also want to come with you all on a journey of self-growth. We want to talk about issues that's going on within the community, issues that we see as black men within the community, also women as well. We highlighting y'all as well. We want y'all to feel the love. This is an all unbiased podcast, so there's never going to be picking a side or anything like that. It's all humane conversations. We all trying to learn together. So keep that in mind when y'all add y'all inserts and y'all comments. We definitely looking for y'all feedback so that way we can understand what y'all want to see more of, and also on top of that, how to engage with y'all more too.
So I guess, we can get right into it. The first thing, we can talk about.
Well, you want to tell them about yourself?
My man. I forgot to introduce myself, but yeah, my name Marquise. I make music. I do a little bit of digital marketing. I'm getting into some content creating, so just getting into the content with a bunch of other business, definitely small businesses, like Linda said, kind of just trying to, work with everybody, get everybody together, and we all learn at the same time.
Follow his links in the description. Definitely, he's gonna have his Instagram page down there, Facebook, things like that.
We both will.
Both will, but a little bit about myself as well. My name is London. I am a mechanical and robotics engineer. Kind of odd, putting the two together, but at the same time, we both went to school together. And even aside from that, just in our journey coming from Chicago, him being out west and me being out south, it was one of those brotherhood type of bonds that we kind of naturally developed just over time, being here in a more diverse state than where we came from, in a sense, because definitely we a little bit sticks and stones out here in the bigger world. But
always.
Yeah, it's a journey, and it's something that we definitely came together from our different backgrounds, and we were able to find ways to cultivate an environment where we could share, uplift one another, make sure that people around us, other brothers that seem to have different struggles on campuses or struggles within the community, that they have an outlet, a place to be emotional, ask questions, have those controversial conversations that a lot of people shy away from. And that's one thing that we want to bring with you all too.
Facts, and that's why we, like Linda said, we keep it unfiltered. We definitely working on getting some guests going into the podcast later on as well. We want to bring a lot of, influential people as well. People who want to speak their truth, talk about how they feel on a bunch of, topics and things going on in the world. So like you said, definitely comment, reach out to us, DM us with all those links that we're going to put in the description.
For sure. And we definitely got a Facebook page, Instagram page as well for the Born Unfiltered podcast. So that way you can reach us there directly, and we'll be able to siphon through a lot of you all's comments, and we'll be able to feedback to you all, engage with you all there.
Facts.
So let's start off. We talked about the raw man's journey personally between one another. Let's try to dive into that and share with the audience what the raw man's journey is.
Yep, so I'll go a little bit over what that topic, the raw man journey, is about. It's kind of talking about embracing your authenticity in yourself as a man, especially as a black man, and being vulnerable to not only vulnerable with yourself, but vulnerable with the people around you that actually care, and actually got your back, and just really having those discussions, because again, a lot of black men, specifically and men in general, don't really express how we feel or like to express how we feel, to the guys or to people that's close to us, because we sometimes, like you said, the world make it feel like maybe you're weak by doing that, or you just should keep it all, bottled in, but that's not always the truth.
That is pretty true, and I'm not sure if you want to share with the audience your upbringing and whatnot, but
I can do that. That's easy.
For myself, I came from a background of just I had both my parents in my life. But parents weren't together, they divorced.
Same.
I still have my father in my life as well to be a father figure and, lead that example.
Don't be stereotyping in the comments and shit. Come
on.
He ain't got no dad.
No, but just for real though, I understood that cliche in it as well, where even my family kind of embrace that a little bit too, where like the men kind of hold their emotions and whatnot, and just kind of just shrug it off, keep moving forward. But we definitely want to make sure that nowadays we're paying attention and being reflective, because I see a lack of that in the community. But I also see the work that's being done to emphasize the need for it. So we definitely want to share that positivity with you all, that throughout your journeys, whether or not you're man or female, or transitioning from man to female or female to man, either way, that you reflect. Take time to take deep breath, jot down in a journal or take a voice memo if you need to just take a daily reflection of just what went good that day, what went bad that day, things that you improved on, things that you need to improve on, because it's nothing wrong with talking to people about your improvements and your goals in life. There's nothing wrong with reflecting with those close to you that want to see you successful, that want to see you develop. That's part of the journey itself. And in order to track that journey, you always want to make sure that you're reflecting. I feel like that's played a very pivotal role in my own journey, and I'm not sure how that's played in yours. But
definitely, I'll say reflecting. It's a little different. I'll say with me, when making music and stuff, it's a little different. So I kind of reflect with it there as well, for like the voice memo kind of aspect. But I definitely say getting into it recently a lot more is the journaling, and then reaching out to, like I said, people that care, and then just kind of reflecting after that conversation you have with them. Just daily definitely helps, because it's like, okay, I remember this conversation I had, with my boy or whatever, or I remember this conversation I had with my mom, and just like I said, all those sources that you have, and just really jotting that stuff down, because like I said, sometimes you might have a day where somebody might be busy, you can't directly talk to them one-on-one, or you call them, and you reflecting back on, like I said, what you wrote out in that journal, or that voice memo could be like, all right, I remember, London said this to me, and good thing I, wrote it down, wrote in my journal. I can go back and look at that, use that to, make my decision, and then later on, when I can give you the chance to, talk to you, whatever, I can come back and reflect with you again, and then tell you like the steps I took on that. So yeah.
And to piggyback off that thought process as well, when it comes to not just reflecting for yourself, but caring and showing support to other people.
Yeah.
Be mindful. It's not a hard thing that I'm asking everybody to do. It's a simple task. Whenever you're in conversation with friends, family, associates, colleagues, anything like that, or just even on social media, going through your history, going through old photos, or just going through comments of just like what's on your timeline, if you happen to think of somebody that's crossed your path before, old friend, old teammate, classmate, anything of that nature, or you happen to speak their name into existence in a conversation with someone else, don't feel afraid to just simply reach out and let them know, hey, you crossed my mind, just checking on you. How's your family? How you doing? How's your mental? Because you don't know how those words can affect someone's life, especially in the most randomest of times when we think no one's thinking of us and no one's caring about our well-being. There's been multiple times when I've reached out to some of my closest friends, or sometimes they've reached out to me, and I could be having a bad day or having a good day, and that makes it that much better, because now I know that someone out there thought of me, and I can share something that's going on in my day with them, or I can just know that, hey, I can talk with them later, and we can have a conversation and catch up,
So I'll definitely say it's true. I've done it a couple of times, and I can kind of speak a little bit on that. Like our friend Malik, for instance, he don't live here where we live, but like Lily, we kind of, I feel like we started talking a lot more once I did reach out, because again, like after he graduated and stuff, he left, and so people tend to get distance once they move a little bit, and it's not exactly on purpose, but everybody got their own journey in life. And I reached out to him one time, and he was like, I actually appreciate you reaching out, because it was like, he was like, dang, I didn't even think that you, I know you be busy as well, but he's like, I didn't think you was like thinking of me in that aspect. And I was like, yeah, I kind of, I heard some stuff that's been going on, and I just wanted to reach out just to check up on you. And like I said, that not only does it like make you feel good, but it just makes you just let you know, like, damn, like everybody really be going through something. So definitely reaching out can make it, like I said, it can make a big difference. You really never know. And like I said, life is short, man. People can be here one day and gone the next, so you really don't know.
Very true. In that conversation that you had with him, what's one of the things that like stood out the most as far as the conversation you all had, or just the bond itself? Like what stands out the most to you about that connection that you have with him?
I'll say the bond. I'll say after that conversation, I feel like we definitely, because I told him like that in the conversation, I was like, don't ever like think that you can't reach out, like whatever, no matter if you're busy. And I was like, same, I'm gonna do the same as well. I was like, at least check up once a week, once a month, whatever. I was like, I get we both busy. You got stuff going on, I got stuff going on. I was like, but I'm like, you know, you one of the guys, you know, we brothers at the end of the day. Like, I went to his graduation and everything, so I'm just like, yeah, if, like I said, you know, and life goes on, but basically I said that definitely stood out. It was just the brotherhood aspect, definitely rebuilding the bond. And like you said, you never know. A lot of people, I feel like, lose track of some friendships just because of how much goes on in life, especially, again, like I said, we keeping it all, you know, all authentic. Growing up black, you know, we all got struggles and things that we all go through that we don't touch base on as kids, or our parents, you know, just our parents go through it too, and they haven't touched base on some stuff. And we just lose ourselves within life and lose the connection with some people. And unfortunately, I do hate to see it. I can say for myself, my own story. I have a couple of friends, past friends, that I could honestly say I don't really talk to at all anymore. And it is like a little, like when you think about it, like damn. I mean, we used to grow up, be out, you know, be outside in the streets, went to high school together, and it's like you lose some of them connections because of life. Because everybody's, honestly, I think for me personally, I feel like a lot of people are scared to reach out first because nobody wants to get rejected or
take an initiation.
Exactly, or take the initiation. So definitely doing that gave myself, not only gave myself confidence, but gave me more confidence. Be like, you know what, I definitely can reach out to more people. And regardless of how that conversation go, at least I can say I reached out, and nobody can ever say that you didn't put your best foot forward in terms of trying to build a relationship or maintain a relationship. So say that.
Gotcha. And I know lately I've been having a lot of reflective conversations on my end with some of my guys from high school and whatnot, and it's been pretty interesting. We typically end our conversations the same way, in the sense of just reminding each other. I always feel comfortable to reach out. I personally am very reflective in the sense of who's doing what nowadays. In the sense of like, a lot of the times I try to emphasize that like my friends or my brothers, have you dictated.
Yeah, no, we all got all like, yeah, you separated.
Right. But I was just telling them like, yeah, don't forget that certain people in the chat do this and do that. So like, if you ever need someone to bounce ideas off of or someone to try to talk to more personally,
network people, other people.
Right, but talk more personally in the sense of like, you don't have to talk to any and all of the guys at once or like just random. But you can call specific ones that you know, hey, stay in my field or like do certain things that I do, because y'all can have more in-depth conversation that someone else might not be able to offer you.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking away from any and all of our friends that don't do the same thing that we do, but we all know that we have certain friends and circles for reasons.
Facts.
Really, reflection should offer you a moment of clarity, a moment to be able to take a deep breath and look at a big picture, but simplify that picture to make it a lot smaller. So all of the micro circles that we have of networks and connections that we lean on, you want to make sure that you key in on what those different connections mean, and also who fits those different circles and who overlaps as well. But take your time. It happens with practice. It doesn't happen overnight. So.
It's practice, like I said, practice, repetitiveness. I probably said that word wrong before, but just basically being consistent, honestly, just with that, because just to bounce on what you said on that, I feel like the world has made it where it's like, oh, you have to have this division in terms of every section you got. Man, you live your life how you live your life. Just honestly, the best thing I'll say is have structure within your friendships in terms of, you know, these are my friends for partying, or this, you know, this part of how I want to live my life. If I want to do business, I know these are all my guys that got, you know, businesses, they doing this, music, content creating, whatever. That's people you connect with on that. You don't never merge the two, of course, but you don't also have to be distant to these people because it's like, oh, you know, that's my party friends, whatever. Of course, you know when to hit them up, you know when not to hit them up about certain shit. But I do feel like the world just tries to make us put everything in, like you said, like these cliques or, like I said, divisions or groups where you just have to do things a certain way. You don't. You really don't.
Gotcha. And transitioning from the raw man's journey, going into the bigger aspect, which is diving into the community now. Let's talk about lightly, because this is one of the topics that we also want to bring to our podcast, but this is something that as we get deeper into our episodes and deeper into this series of our podcast, I want to talk about relationships. We want to talk about the men's side of it, what goes into being a father, what goes into being a provider, what goes into, you know, shooting that shot to get that woman of your dreams, but at the same time,
Fact.
being realistic with yourself and knowing
And being mindful.
right, being realistic and being mindful of what your options are, and even aside from that, just knowing how to conduct yourself in today's dating market. I feel like a lot of times people don't talk about what the dating market actually looks like, and how sometimes there's faults in it, and then also there's pros and cons to how it is the way it is now.
Fair. Yeah.
But
And I just touch base a little bit of kind of like what, like you said, this segment of the podcast is the relationships. And we kind of gonna call it relationships unplugged because we want to keep it again all raw, all authentic. Pretty much, you know, I'm just saying we talking about relationships in terms of like friendships, relationships with like your parents, relationship with like coworkers, all kinds of stuff. So like just how to maneuver through that. I get it. Like some people just kind of live life day by day and don't really like you said, reflect on some things that goes on in their day by day. And this is definitely one of the things we want to touch on is relationships with all the people you come in contact with. Again, man, woman, whatever else you want to call yourself, you know, it don't matter.
even if you think you're an animal,
Literally,
because there's some
Hey,
people out there too.
if you think you're an animal, whatever animal you need to connect with, you still got to touch base on that relationship with the other animal. Just being honest with you. So we're not here to judge. We know, man, live your life. That's how you want to live it. Live your life. That's all I can say. I'm not here to tell you what you should be, what you shouldn't be, what religion you got to be. That's not our job.
It ain't. Because at the end of the day, God is the only person that can judge you, and I'm a firm believer that.
Facts.
I don't know if I've told you this a few times before, but everybody has their own theater in a sense.
Yeah.
And I've painted this image, and I hope that it sticks with you all. I definitely try to fine tune how I bring it back up, but all of us have our own theater, and just like in olden days, we have our VIP balcony booths. We got front center for our biggest fans. We got our sponsors. They get to have their VIP sections as well in the back. We also have our general audience that comes, pays for a ticket. They sit down, they enjoy the show. You got your people that's in production with you, the people that help put together your show, like your family, your closest friends, your network, people, like your boss, closest co-workers that stay late nights with you, things like that. They'll be on the stage with you when you're doing your performance. And regardless, people gonna have good critiques about your show and bad critiques. But at the end of the day, it's your show. Remember that, live by it, and do what you gotta do on a day-by-day basis to make your next show, each new night, that much grander, that much better.
Facts. Like I said, your show, you, only you. Not me and your show, it's your show.
Exactly.
Now this show is me and you.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like I said, it's your show.
Exactly.
And that's everybody. I don't think a lot of people realize that it's your show. Like I said, if you want to just be average, and like I said, I'm gonna be real blunt with y'all. If you want to live your life average and not do anything except go to work, go to school, and don't do anything outside of that, that's fine. It's just how you live your life. You should live an average life. If you want to be the person who jump for the skies and do whatever, please do it. Because again, that's how we have some of the greatest artists, musicians, actors, all that. Is because somebody took a step to be like, I want to do something different.
Be a trailblazer.
Facts.
It's definitely supported. We definitely want to shout you out. Definitely anybody that has friends, family, co-workers, anybody that you want to shout out, definitely feel free to put them on the page. Definitely give a valid description of what you shout them out for, so that way we can add to that shout out, and we can definitely highlight them on our page as well. And if we ever get a chance, and once we start getting deep into our series, we want to definitely highlight people and bring them on the show, so you can talk about what you do, so you can talk about your passion, and you can then share someone else on a highlight person. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
We definitely want guests. We definitely want stories. Like I said, 'cause that's the purpose of being, born unfiltered. Because like you said, you want to keep it all raw and keep it authentic. Because again, y'all know there's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube, social media. It's so many people doing skits, planning stuff, faking fights, faking everything. There's so much stuff that you can't even trust, honestly. So again, we do want to keep it where it's you're being 100. You telling your truth, telling your life.
This ain't one of those podcasts where we go out and we fake content and things like that. Like, this is all raw, all authentic. I'm gonna say it one more time, because what we're trying to bring, what we're trying to cultivate is a level of socialism, a level of humility, a level of connection that, coming from where we come from, we kind of see how it got lost in translation from our generation's kind of ending to the new generation. we see that gap in lack of communication, lack of socialism, face-to-face interaction.
Facts.
A lot of people get caught up in what's on social media and what's just, you know, in technology in general, but we're not paying attention to how we can connect interpersonally right in front of each other. A lot of the times I see people that's younger than me, sometimes even a little older than me, lack on conversations that are very developmental as far as our minds, developmental as far as keeping our eyes clear of what's going on around the community in front of us, how climate change is happening, inflation is happening, even aside from that, how structurally certain things are being put in place to make us more enemies and men versus women, or culture versus culture, things like that.
I'm gonna say, just to add on to that, shoot, think about, it's in the word today, you got so much going on. You got, not even talk about politics and all that shit, but just talk about a couple of things. Like I said, people don't touch base on. You got the Israel, all that war over there going on. Again, all that stuff is for greed, man. You got the United States, we don't take care of ourselves, but we quick to go jump and take care of another country. And we can't even get things right over here. They said, even in our communities, black, Hispanic, you got a lot of stuff, people fighting, killing each other, stealing each other. It makes me, sometimes I will say it makes me upset, just because I'm just like I said, growing up where we grew up from, you see people where it's like the black community, black on black crime, white on white crime. It's crazy. Like when you think about a lot of these communities or these different cultures where it's like, it's everybody that's technically should be working together against each other. Where, like I said, they put all this stuff in place where, yeah, y'all supporting, I'm gonna call it out, all y'all favorite rappers, all y'all favorite, all that. Y'all supporting all this Gucci and all that. But all these big name brands don't care about us. And but y'all quick to support them versus support somebody that's your friend that might got a brand or making music or something. I get it. You might not like everything they do, but that's why you throw your critique in there. And don't be an asshole when you do it, but again, you tell people, be 100 with people, hey, this is my idea, what I think you can do better, what you could change, because I want to truly see you, thrive. Not, oh, no, your shit trash, bro, and that's it. And it's like, yeah, of course they're not gonna fuck with you. And then when they blow up, you wondering why. But yeah, y'all, like you said, definitely more people coming together and getting some things together is definitely what we need in the community, for sure.
And on a side note, I know you were giving a tidbit in your spiel about like making clothes and things like that, or basically more like entrepreneurial business.
Right.
We definitely have a segment that we want to start incorporating in our series as well. That it'll probably come maybe not next episode, but a couple episodes. We want to talk about just the authenticity behind being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And what comes with that, the steps that go into developing the game plan for that business, how to begin like promotion, marketing, getting into, your scheme for your networks, your connections, kind of dive into
building you a team, figuring that out.
Right. I know you're more on the entrepreneurial side, so can you dive more into just what makes the authentic entrepreneur?
I say from my standpoint, what makes the authentic entrepreneur, sorry, y'all know words. But honestly, I'm gonna just keep it real short. I'm gonna just say, honestly, it's just really about being yourself. Like, I'll say from my journey, like I'm still at the beginning of my journey, I'll say. Not even gonna try to say like, oh, I'm deep into my journey. It's really being authentically you, I would say, is the real thing, and just learning yourself. Like, once you learn some things about yourself, it'll help you in your entrepreneurial journey. Because, for instance, I'll say for a minute, I used to try to like look into like people, people I like favorite rappers, singers, clothing brands and stuff like that, and I would try to figure out kind of like what it is about those brands, these people that I like, to make decisions in terms of, like I said, making my music, making my clothing brands and things like that. And then I really, like, for instance, Lil Durk said a quote, and it's a couple of people I've seen from like, podcasts and interviews I've seen, where they basically touch base on a lot of stuff in terms of being you and just being true to who you are. Because once you figure out who you are truthfully, not what you've grown up and you've kind of learned, being on your own, going on a journey where it's like, I'm gonna learn about me every day, like I said, kind of document that, and just and keeping it like, once you do that, you just pretty much get a chance to really see what's the things you would like to do, and just pretty much using that as like your fuel to your fire to do your journey. Like I said, if clothing really ain't for you and you just like clothes just because you see the next person doing it, then don't start a clothing brand. If music is, you just want to do music because you see anybody doing it, don't do that. Like, actually have a reason, like, oh, I actually love doing music. I like playing instruments or something like that. And then really going into that. Like, I feel like a lot of people just starts doing stuff because they think of the money aspect, and they're like, oh, it's a lot of money behind me doing this, or doing starting a business, starting a clothing brand, making music, starting a podcast. Don't do any of that because of the money aspect. You want to do it just because you truthfully love doing it. Because when you wake up every day, that's what you think about doing. Like, oh dang, like I can't go a day without making music or listening to music. I can't go a day without thinking about a podcast or want to make my own. If you don't have that type of aspiration, then there's no purpose of doing it. So I'm gonna just say that.
It's very keen to focus on originality when trying to be your most authentic self. It's a struggle. It can definitely be hard at times. We definitely want to highlight and share with you all those highlights
for the week.
Because, like I say, it's all raw conversation that we're having because we want to motivate everybody to find that originality within themselves.
It definitely ain't for the week, I'm gonna say that. It's definitely easy to give up. I'll say that. So, like I said.
But it's a journey, and we in it together. So don't forget that, and always make sure if you're ever in need, ever in doubt, lean on your friends, lean on your family. Reach out to us if you need to, because we're paying attention as well, and we want to engage with you all. Let us know how we can help. Let us know how you all can help us as well.
Facts. So I will say we do want to going forward. Like I said, this is like speaking of the future of the podcast, what we plan to do. With all the work that we plan to do for this, is we definitely want to do once a week where we highlight somebody and something that they're doing, like you said. So we definitely want y'all to DM us, message us on social media, find a way to get in contact with us, and we'll definitely do our best to get back to people as fast as possible. I mean, you guys got lives, we got lives, but we definitely want to be able to shout out people that's doing some great things.
For sure. And I know we talked about earlier the music tip, and we wanted to share, some hot music that's going on right now. That's got the city kind of turned, or just got the world turned, and also share some highlight towards your own personal music, because I know you said that you're working on some stuff too.
Yeah.
We can tell the fans a little bit more about you. Like, what's your artist name? Like, when did you start making music, stuff like that?
So I'll say my artist name is King Keys. I started making music. I'll say I started taking it serious. And actually, like, going to the studio, writing music, doing that. I said around, like, the end of 2019, going into 2020. I say 2020 is kind of where I fully started dropping music and started focusing on it and really taking it serious. And again, like I said, it is very easy to give up on stuff. It's very easy to start something and stop it. I didn't do that, never did that with my music. I'll just say I definitely would be, like, scared to drop stuff if I'm being, like said, 100. I'll be scared to drop stuff because, again, people critiquing you, like, especially when you sharing it to people, like, people that's close to you. You're like, dang, like, I want people to really fuck with my shit. So I'll say just really going, like, my journey, especially being in, like, year 2, year 3, it's just like, nah, fuck that. Keep it authentic. Like, drop without the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, drop whatever I like to drop. I make a song, I'm like, fuck it, I'm dropping that shit because I like it. I don't give a fuck who don't. Somebody gonna like it. For instance, I'll say I've been dropping, like, some singles from my project recently. And one of my singles I dropped back in, I want to say August, it's literally at like 14,000 streams. And I'm like this is worldwide. Like, I got hella people in like fucking UK, India, China, United States. And I'm just like, South Africa, Africa. And I'm just like, damn, like, I would never thought that 2-3 years ago that I had like one song with fucking over 10,000 streams. And not even just the United States, but like I said, worldwide. Mm-hmm. And it's just really just staying consistent with, like I said, I'm 2-3 years in. That shit didn't happen overnight. That shit didn't happen within my first year, but it still happened, and I'm still going. So I'll definitely say that. I do have a new project I will say coming out. It's gonna be like hip hop, R&B kind of vibes for Gotcha. I'll definitely put something in in the video where y'all can see the cover art, because it's definitely shouting out the city from Chicago.
You got a title yet, or no title yet?
No, I got a title. So I'll say the title is Message to You, and I'll say the message to you part is really just. I chose the title just to kind of be like a reflection of kind of like myself, like this your message to myself and message to whoever else needs that message that I'm gonna be putting out in this project, because like I said, I'm gonna be touching base on like a little bit of like say R&B, hip hop. I will give y'all this one little hint. I might throw a little Spanish in there for the little Spanish community. Okay. I'm thinking about throwing it in there. I'm like I want to get it in there before I drop the project, so. That's something I definitely want to do. Something where I actually speak Spanish, sing, rap in Spanish, whatever. But it's going to definitely be in there. I'll say that.
That's cool. And shout out to all the good work that you're doing. I'm definitely glad that you've been able to lock in on your passion and just kind of put that extra emphasis on taking it serious,
With the help of my low-key manager.
Slight, man, I'm just trying to get them out there, get them connected. But at the end of the day, it's all out of brotherly love too, and out of support. That's what we got to do for one another. On top of that, I know you've been making music. I know you've been putting in diligent time to it. But who could you pinpoint? Or who do you listen to? Or
Influence.
who's your influence?
Man, honestly, I can't really pinpoint exactly a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say a couple artists I listen to a lot. Where I would say like, you know, you do your Spotify and tell you like your top tens and things like that. Definitely, I'll say personally, I listen to a lot of recently I listen to a lot of Drake, Dirk, like Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, for sure. G Herbo, 21 Savage, J Cole. I mean a lot of J Cole recently as well. And then kind of I've been jumping around in genres, like I said, Spanish like Bad Bunny, Osuna. I've been listening to a couple of his songs. Some other Spanish artists, like I said, it kind of varies. I've been doing some country songs like Morgan Wallen, I think his name Luke Bryan.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. And James Blake, another one. Just kind of diving into different aspects of music, because I was thinking about one of the things I saw J. Cole in the interview. He said, one of the things he said is that he used to be scared to do features and stuff with a lot of people. He said because he didn't know if it would match like what the vibe of the person's song was, and he knew like how he was coming up, you know, what he was bringing to the song. And it's just really just, I'm like, I want to be really versatile in that, where it's like, oh, somebody gave me an offer, I don't have to deny the offer, because it's like, oh, this is gonna be a pop song, I want to rap, but I want a rap artist on there. All right, shit, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like I can do that, because I'm not keeping myself stuck in one field, one area, which I feel like a lot of people do that, and you definitely gotta be. It's a personal growth thing, I'll say, in terms of really going out your way to research and put yourself in a situation where you are uncomfortable, in terms of like, oh, you know, I don't really listen to country, but shit, let me actually like dive in and actually see what they're talking about, see what, you know, how the beat is, you know, understanding the choruses and what they do to, you know, put behind the structure of that music or that song. Because that's different from making a rap song or making an R&B song, where it's a lot more melodies, or it's a lot more, like I said, more bar structure and things like that.
Gotcha. Like I say, it definitely is, you know, a commendable and like a praise that comes with like the people that put in the work to be versatile.
Right.
Because a lot of times we can be complacent in one avenue, or we can find our niche and we settle. And you definitely lose a little bit of that happiness or that passion for the entrepreneurial, you know, adventure or endeavor that we're on. You know, that journey.
Yeah.
Once we find our niche and we say, hey, this is good for me. So I'm glad to hear you say that you haven't settled.
Nah.
You continue to like keep doing research. You continue to keep trying to test the waters and fine tune your talent and your craft. So definitely to all young and inspiring actresses, actors, artists, you know, anybody that's, you know, on the creative side, you know, performative arts side, definitely keep reflecting, keep working on challenging yourself to be original, challenging yourself to be, you know, creative on a higher level. You might successfully get one thing done, but you always want to try to do bigger and better. And there's nothing wrong with failing, because you learn from those mistakes. You learn from the things that you might need to fine tune, and you go right back at it.
I'm gonna be honest, fuck that, fail, keep failing, fail as much as you need to, because
it's not about the amount of times you fall, it's about the amount of times you get back up.
Shit, even you never know, that one time you get back up might be your time that you fucking blow up, honestly. And anything, you might get an offer, somebody might be like, fuck, damn, this is some good ass writing, I need this person to come write a movie for me or write a book for me. And that, like you said, that one time, because you kept trying and changing things, like you said, being versatile, not being scared to fail or put yourself in a, you know, uncomfortable zone, it can really make or break you, honestly.
Now, I know you talked about, or you highlighted the lackluster effort that goes into collaborations.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Now we can dive more into it, because I definitely find it interesting, especially on the commercial level. You know, once you talk about like your Drakes and your bigger artists, I noticed that between me and you, and you know, some of the guys, we've always had those conversations. Man, like this collab with this person might sound dope, or like this person and that person.
Almost like
it's
needed, almost
like man, like we need this type of collab, because I think it'll really be cool.
I'll say, to touch base on that, just kind of started off with that. For instance, I feel like the industry, like they said, the commercial part and like the underground artists and upcoming artists, relationship is very, very bad. And the independent artist kind of zone. And I feel like I am glad to kind of see a lot more people kind of leaning into the independent side. A lot of people don't know it. A lot of people like Drake, Chris Brown, a lot of them kind of like bought their labels or kind of started their own labels, and after they, paid their ways with their old labels and things like that, and finished that contract out because you have more control of your creativity, your creativity, and then you have more control of who you can collab with and what you really can do. I'll say a lot of it's became a lot of greed behind it, where it's like, oh, they only let certain people collab because of money, or certain people only want to collab with certain people because of money, or what that person can bring in terms of like I don't know, for instance, like if me personally was to collab with Lil Durk, he doesn't really get anything from that besides working with a upcoming artist, thing like that. It's not like I'm bringing so much money to the table, I'm bringing him more clout. Where it's like when Lil Durk collabed with Drake, it was like, oh, Drake's already at this, height of his career. Oh, Durk, he's pretty much putting you on into more a bigger audience, because it's like Drake is worldwide. Durk's worldwide, I'll say, for a little bit, but I would definitely say working with Drake made way more people like, oh, I know who this Lil Durk guy is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And things like that. Or you, for instance, like said, Ken Carson and people like that, like they're a little more upcoming. So Fago, like I know he's worked with like Travis Scott and Don Toliver, for instance. Like a lot of people didn't know Don Toliver. You heard me play a song, I don't know if you heard the song I played earlier, like Travis Scott from 2018, it's called Can't Say. It doesn't say that Don Toliver was featured on the song, unless you go into the details and stuff, but Don Toliver does like the chorus of that song. And you won't know things like that unless you go look it up. Like, is it Nav? Is that pronounce his name? Yeah. Nav. He's on like Travis Scott's Beats in the Trap from back in 2015. And it's like now you think of him now, and it's like, no, he been around. Like you said, it's just more of those collabs, where it's more spot on collabs. Like, oh no, that's Travis Scott dropping with this, such and such that's upcoming, and it's like highlighted. Like they're actually doing, highlighting that song, versus like, oh no, we ain't gonna highlight this one, but then when he drops the album, we're gonna highlight his album. But that song kind of gets put like on the back burner, where it's like, oh, you have to go find that song. It's not like something that was like,
right
advertised in
your face.
Yeah.
I hear you, and definitely as we talk more about music and we talk more about just songs of the week, albums that come out that definitely, like I said, get the city turned, things like that. We'll dive deep into the thought process that goes into making the music, into creating these albums, and also just in general kind of what goes into the music industry behind the scenes when it comes to artists being themselves, and what we see from our end, and what you experience and how you relate. Because I know you get a chance to talk more and be more in that environment. So I definitely found that interesting. But on a lighter note, to wrap that up, who would be one artist that you would collaborate with, or if you were given an opportunity that you would want to work with?
I got a couple of people in mind. Damn, that's a tough one. Who is an artist that I would want to collab with? There's so many artists, honestly. Somebody on a bigger scale, like that's anybody.
Anybody. If you can pick an artist, whether it's for a song or for an EP or whatever, who would you want to get a chance to work in the studio, like learn from, get a chance to like just work with, have fun?
I'd say somebody definitely. I'm gonna name a couple, name like 3. I'd say for sure. I definitely want to get in the studio with like J. Cole, because you get to really get that mindset aspect of it, like when how he thinks about when he's working with certain people, writing his music, just having fun, kind of, I feel like, as well. Of course, I'll pick like a Drake, because again, you gotta pick somebody kind of bigger in terms of you can get their aspect of how they marketing their songs, or like I said, what's kind of goes into like their chorus, what makes them say that. Man, like you said, the Liddy vibes, I gotta go like a Future or a Dirt, or like a Uzi when it comes to like the, more like lead, kind of, more of a balance to the song, kind of vibes for sure. Also, Doughboy is another one.
I feel it. That's pretty interesting. Definitely.
Trying to end it.
You want to go over cultural conversations, or you want to do self-discovery and growth? Because either one we can highlight, and we can just lightly talk about. And then we could just highlight it basically in the next episode. We'll pick up on that, or we could further talk about it?
Just self-discovery and growth one.
Okay.
So that's an easier one to kind of like jump out of.
Okay.
Because cultural conversations would be something like we'd have to definitely plan on like what's going on, like
Gotcha.
and talk about. Yeah, we do self-discovery.
Okay. So now that we are coming to a close on our podcast first episode,
Yeah.
we can wrap up with the audience, reflect with one another,
All right.
take time to go over our self-discovery and growth goals, because throughout the year we all have goals that we set. We all have, achievements that we've either met, milestones that we conquered, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
or just things that we're still working on, obstacles that kind of came in the way and put some of our goals on pause, or the journey.
No.
What is your growth goal? What is your self-discoverable goal that you want to achieve before the end of this year?
I say one. You said self-discovery goal. I say a self-discovery goal I want to achieve before the end of the year. In a sense, I say mine's it's a couple. In a sense, not exactly a couple, but like definitely working out wise. Like I said, being fit. I say eating better, which I've been doing, but just eating a little even more better. Actually tracking, things like that, calorie intakes and all that kind of stuff. Being better about, like I said, and being better about like how I carry myself. I'll say if something I want to do, like complaining less, showing more gratitude throughout my day to God. Things that's going good. Being more positive in terms of like how I view the day, like my perspective of my day is definitely something I say before the end of the year. I want to have like set where it's like I'm complaining less. I'm not letting things get to me as much. You rarely see me with a frown on my face, because again, I feel like a lot of us don't realize that like, man, we got it much worse. Like I said, I've seen a lot of videos of like the war and stuff going on there. It's like, bro, we can be having bombs dropped on us right now. This building can be we can be in the middle of a podcast and this whole building can fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what's going on. So I got a lot of reason to smile and be appreciative and be positive. Even like I said, even with obstacles coming your way, like things not exactly going your way, or if I don't accomplish a couple of goals this year, I still got to work on it. So what? Like Kobe said, job's not done. If I still got to work on it going into the next year, that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I get to that goal and I surpass and I keep pushing forward, that's all that matters.
Gotcha. I know on my end, I would say one of my goals that I'm still trying to achieve and accomplish before the end of this year is that, of course, financially, I'm on a journey to truly save, put myself in a category to really say that I'm stable. I'm taking care of my adulting nature, my bills and things like that. Just in general, like getting my credit score in order. That's one of my biggest goals. I want to truly be in the 700 range. So like right now, I'm
you
like
can actually leverage your credit to doing stuff for you.
Right, and it opens opportunities. But right now I'm teetering on that 7. I'm trying to fully get in there. So that's one of the goals that I'm trying to
do like this.
Yeah, I'm fully trying to just work on that. So chat, anybody, if y'all got pointers, if you all know people that give out good financial advice, financial advisors, things like that, feel free, throw them in the chat, throw them in the comments, send them to our direct message on the chat or on the Facebook page, Instagram page, so that way we can reach out. We can definitely collaborate with them, even get them on the podcast, so that way we can get it out there for all of the fans and all of the audience to see, because you never know whose life you can change and affect.
Thanks, because I'll throw it out there real quick. Like, for instance, my age, I'm 24, I'll be 25 real soon. I would definitely say it's a lot of stuff I wish I learned, or people I had knowledge in terms of when I was 18, transitioning into 18 to 21, that could definitely have me way farther ahead in life, for just like I said, more structure. Definitely being 24, especially with the credit or in the financial aspect as well, even the mental aspect. That things that I definitely didn't really have when I was 18 and 21 that I have now at 20, that I've learned now at 24.
Gotcha. Now, we talked about a goal that we have that we are trying to accomplish before the end of the year. Let's try to give the audience an example or sample of a success that we've had throughout this year? What's something that you can reflect on with the audience that, hey, this has played in my favor, this is something that I would like to share with you all?
I would say something that's played in my favor. I'll say me being more consistent in a lot of stuff I do is an example. My music, one of the things I was definitely going into this beginning of this year, I was like, I want to be more adamant about dropping at least a song every month. I actually realized I haven't dropped the actual project in like 2 years. Well, yeah, 2 years. So definitely, like I said, my goal was definitely getting this project that I'm about to release very soon done and out. Definitely doing, more than 10 songs. So this project definitely I plan on it being around 14 to 16 songs. And I basically done that. So that was definitely, pounding back to myself. I was like, oh, you like go crazy, you did that shit. And getting some features on that project as well. Like I said, can't wait for y'all to hear that. But yeah, and now also that's a tough thing to really and putting that into perspective real quick is just really staying consistent with that. Like I said, for the most part, I'm proud of myself for doing that. I feel like I've dropped at least a song every month. I think I missed 1 month or two, but mostly every month. And definitely going into the next year, I want to be even more consistent. Like I said, every single month I give y'all a song, and at least going forward every year I give y'all at least 1 or 2 projects. That's something I definitely want to do because I feel like for my own creative person, it makes me be more creative and have to do more work. Whereas like we're in more personal growth when I'm doing that. If I can stay consistent in one area of my life, I can transition that to every other area. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I say on my end, overall, this year has been a very productive year.
Facts.
Every year is a productive year. I mean, of course, like, because we adults, we got to put in the work. Otherwise, kind of failing, kind of just allowing yourself to rot, putting yourself in a hole. But I feel like I've made some great strides on a successful note to dig myself out of certain financial holes. I feel like overall, I've made great progress with this new career change.
Yeah,
and ultimately, I feel the way that I've transitioned into my new home, my new career situation, and just overall the small transitions that go with that. I've been able to not only reflect on my personal growth as far as my gym habits, my meal preps, all of those things like my reading, writing, just reflecting, mediating, or meditating more so. I've been able to manipulate time. And I feel like a lot of people lack that capability. And it's a very beautiful thing once you figure out how to successfully manipulate time. Right, and when I'm telling everybody manipulate time in our favor, there's 2 examples I want to leave you all with, and I definitely want you all to give me your thoughts in the comments and reach out, have a conversation with us if you like to. But COVID showed us what the availability of time can really give us to, one, personally be with our families, to connect with one another again, to
connect with yourself.
Right, really connect with yourself, things like that. And that was a struggle for me. That's something that we can talk about on the next episode.
Yeah,
I definitely don't mind sharing it with you all, but next episode, so stay tuned. But that was one example, and just in general, knowing what it may feel like when you can afford to do certain things that most people in the upper echelon, that 1%, can afford to do on time. And how most average, citizens, most average households have to plan, have to work, have to always map it so far out that their children, that even sometimes structurally for ourselves, being in those family type of structures or setups, we're not even thinking about how time is being manipulated against us. And it's not until you either find that love for yourself and that love for your family, or that feasibility in your own way to be able to do the things that make you happy on a day-by-day basis.
No, that's facts. I was throwing that real quick touch base. It's like I was talking to my own mom about it, and I was like, with my younger brother, and I'm like, Mom, you gotta really think like a lot of stuff like you said, what But we get used to being like, for instance, family trips, and it's like, oh yeah, where y'all want to go? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, look this and that, I want to go to Miami, or I want to go to this, or Vegas. And then it's like the first thing your parents or your family usually say is like, are we gonna plan for that next year? Or we gonna plan for that in the next 2 years? And it's like you said, that's already having that mentality is already like manipulating time against you. And it's like you ever like when you get older, you start thinking like, dang, we some of that stuff we never even end up doing because we spaced it out so far. It's like now it's almost like an impossible goal or impossible, plan because it's like, oh, we're gonna go there in the next 2 years. We don't know what the next 2 years can look like. So why are we planning for the? Yes, you should definitely plan for the future. Don't get me wrong, but you also gotta live in the present. Because like I said, if you don't live in the present and work towards that now, you never will get to that 2 year plan that you're working on. That's like when people be like, oh, I got this for instance, jump back into business real quick. I got this 5 year business plan. What are you doing today to work towards that 5 year business plan? If you ain't doing nothing right now, you just, I'm sitting with them, get on the phone, watch a couple videos, I ain't gonna take action, you not gonna never see it.
Right. And that's one thing that definitely played a huge role into that manipulation for me is focusing on everything being one day at a time and knowing that the journey isn't going to change overnight, but it's something that I have to mentally, one, take that initial sacrifice for, to say that I'm going to give it the work for the time that I drew out for myself. And then two, make sure that I reflect every day about how, like I said, I'm achieving certain things out that day and certain things that I know I need to improve on and work on to be better the next day. Because that's only going to help make my journey that much easier and that goal that much easier to break down.
Like I would say, I'll throw this little tidbit in there real quick, and I'll put this person I'm gonna mention definitely in the description. I believe his name is Josh. I'll get his real name and all that in his Instagram for you guys. But he made a video, and one of the things I really like that he touched base on, he said, go out. He said, if you want to build that life for you, said make that plan for yourself, go start in a sense going to see those things. If it's a car you want, go to the dealership. You don't gotta buy that car that day, but go to the dealership and kind of, test drive the car you want. Like you said, for instance, the BMW that you're working towards, just to put that in there. He was like, no, go to the dealership, the BMW dealership, go ask them to drive that car. Now you see how it feels, now you got in it. He was like, now you putting that manifestation aspect into play in your life, because now you're like, oh, I'm doing this. If you like, oh man, I can't wait till I get money to dress up in the suit. No. Go to Express, go to wherever you want to go, find you a nice suit, put it on, look at it, take some pictures, some videos, and now you can reflect and show yourself day by day. Like you said, taking things day by day. I'm like, man, I remember that, I'm working to get in that suit where I'm doing this. This is my natural life where I'm putting myself in that suit. I'm not just wearing joggers or jeans and going out to the club every week. I'm working towards something. And that's one thing that I would definitely say stood out to me in the video. And I was like, damn, I never really thought about that. Like, making it more of an initiative to go out your way to do stuff. Or go places and experience certain things. And I'll definitely say that's one of the things that was like a big thing that a lot of people need to start doing way more. Even if no matter how old you are, just find a way to do it.
Gotcha. And with that note, we definitely want to say thank you for the love. Thank you for taking your time to check the podcast.
Always.
We'll be coming back next week with some more great content, and we're definitely going to dive a little bit deeper into certain subjects and segments of our growth, the journey, conversations about relationships. We'll be taking a look at the comments and suggestions that you all have given us. We'll definitely start to try to implement those throughout more future episodes as well.
It's like also throwing some songs y'all like, so we put them in the podcast. Yeah. But copyright, you gotta worry about copyright, but definitely. Especially upcoming artists.
Make sure we highlighting artists, highlighting small businesses, entrepreneurs, things of that nature as well. So definitely engage with us. We engage with y'all. We're definitely gonna be out in the community. So if y'all happen to see us, or if you happen to, catch us on our page, show love. Let us know you see us. We see y'all too.
Always. And I will say again, keep it all raw, keep it all authentic all the time, man.
And remember, we all came into this world born unfiltered.
Fact.
With love.
See y'all.
Yeah.